Hello everyone, my name is Indra. I'm support technician here in Rigger, and today I would like to introduce you with our new user roles and function matrix in Rigger version 7.0. So in the next slide, you can see that user roles became more advanced, more organized, and more functional in the new release of Rigger 7.0 Oklahoma City version. And we have different roles to segregate different functions in Rigger to understand different rights in the system. And now you can find 5 different groups of the user roles. So these groups are sales, operations, purchases, HSE, and admin group. In each of this group, you can see different roles. Each role defines what procedures you can run in the system and which documents you are able to edit or just to read, which menu options are available for this specific role. And let's start with the sales group. So in this slide, you can see sales group, which includes salesperson, sales manager, accounts receivable roles, and each of these roles have predefined rights in Rigger. For example, salesperson can create RSA documents, but in RSA journal, this user will be able to see only own RSAs and related documents for own RSAs. When, for example, the sales manager is able to see all RSA documents in the system and all related documents to them in the system. So from reports perspective, salesperson role allows to see only individual sales reports and individual prices reports in the system. So by selecting the specific role for the user, you can assign what level of access this user will have in the system. And another role in sales group is account receivable role. It's a previous accountant role in Rigger system, and accounts receivable can see entire operations in the system, so all RSAs and all related documents, rental invoices, and sales invoices. And in the next slide, you can see the sales group matrix. So each role has specific rights of viewing, editing, or creating documents in the system or generating specific reports in Rigger system. Like, for example, in this slide, you can see that salesperson have full access, which means a green color for RSAs, but it has full access only for own RSAs. Salesperson has only rights to see price lists and price agreements, which represents the gray color, and the yellow color for account receivable, as you can see, represents the edit, delete, and view rights for these specific documents in the system. Let's move to the next topic and to the sales role setup. So I would like to demonstrate you how to set up a sales roles in Rigger system and what are the main difference between the main 2 sales roles, so salesperson and sales manager. And in this slide, you can see 2 different user cards with in one of them selecting the salesperson role and another user has assigned the sales manager role. So the next slide, in the next slide, you can see the differences in the rights for these 2 roles. So the first different when you have assigned a sales manager or salesperson role is that not the full menu is seen, not the full Rigger menu is seen for these users. So you can access only applicable for this role menu and documents. And the next difference between these 2 roles is that salesperson and sales manager, both they can create, edit, and view RSAs. Just salesperson can see only his her RSAs, own RSAs. When a sales manager can see all the RSAs from all salespersons in the system. And same with other documents, sales manager can access and see all the related documents for these RSAs when the salesperson can see only related documents for his own RSAs in the system. So let's move to the next slide, and here you can see the difference in the full Rigger menu when you select Oilfield Rentals section in Rigger, and you can see that it's a smaller menu for salesperson when user has a salesperson right assigned. So as I mentioned previously, with each role, user has a different visibility of documents, a different visibility and access of different catalogs in the system. And by each role, you can access only the documents what requires by your job duties. Okay, and in this menu, you can see the difference in RSA journal. As I mentioned, sales manager can see the full list of all existing RSAs in the system and can access, read, edit, or create a new RSAs in the system. When the salesperson can see only its own RSA documents and don't see the RSAs created by another salesperson in the system. Same is with the other related documents like delivery tickets, field tickets, invoices, and so on. So now the RSA prices and approvals. So when a new RSA is added in the system and only user with assigned function of RSA approval can approve the RSA. And RSA approval function is a part of function matrix, and it can be assigned to particular user in Rigger. By default, this right should be assigned for sales manager, and same is with the prices. It is a part to add and edit the price in the system. It's a part of the function matrix. It's a separate functionality which can be assigned for particular use in the system, and only users with this assigned right in function matrix can make changes in the prices then. So in this screen, you can see the difference in available RSA statuses for sales manager role with assigned RSA approval function and the salesperson role without this functionality. And the sales manager has status approved in RSA status list. So when a new RSA is created, only the sales manager can approve it, and then the job can move on to the next steps.